Hey, how we going, guys? Mickey here from Kumquat. Back with another kick-ass beer review. Going to review a new version of the Kumquat IPA. And this one's an award winner, part of the American Homebrew Association recipe bank. Ingredients are not really put together with Kumquat. So Kumquat IPA, get it pouring up. And we'll discuss the recipe. This one sort of caught my interest, caught my eye when I was flicking through, doing a bit of research and sort of looking at things on the phone. And, excuse me, award-winning beer with such simple ingredients, and I'm talking very simple grain base. Lots of hops, and more hops than I've probably ever used in any, well, the two, maybe three versions of Kumquat IPA that I've done in the last 3, maybe 4 years. If this was an award winner, homebrew award winning beer, particularly the American Homebrew Association beer, then there must be something good about it. So quick turnaround beer. We used Wellerman's Voskvik yeast, Kumquat IPA. Has the colour I'm expecting. Looks really good. It looks better on camera than it does in my hand. Nice head. You've got the over one finger there. Nice and tight, compact. There's some loose packed bubbles there, but carbonations, yeah, it's looking good. It's a nice colour. A lot of colour come from the fruit, so I wouldn't say a lot of the malt in this. Oh man. Kumquats are going to be one of my most, I don't know, it's just me, my favourite fruit, citrus fruit. Love it or hate it. You know, some people are all about grapefruit IPAs, grapefruit hazies, the use of things like galaxy hops and that sort of stuff. There's a lot of American hops in this one, with the exception of Magnum, which is what we started off with. So 4 kilos of American Pale, your 2-row variety, or equivalent, be it 2-row Australian pale malt, Voyager, Coopers, plenty out there to choose from. 400 grams of light crystal, 400 grams of wheat, and 400 grams of dextrose, just to elevate or bring up that alcohol to about 5.6, 5.7%. We're nudging between those two readings. So 28 grams of Magnum at 60 minutes, as I mentioned. Magnum, always to say, so many different varieties of Magnum these days. American Magnum, there's European Magnum, there's Magnum from all over the world, but didn't tell me what Magnum it was, so we just 28 grams of Magnum at 60 minutes, 28 grams of Simcoe at 45 minutes, 28 grams of Amarillo at 30 minutes, 10 grams of Warrior at 30 minutes, 10 grams of Amarillo at 15 minutes, the second edition Amarillo there for this beer, and 60 grams of Citra dry hop for 3 days. 900 grams of whole Kumquats, so cell structure burst Kumquats from the freezer. Those who do a lot of brewing, particularly fruit brewing, know that when you freeze fruits, you destroy cell structures, so fruits will break down when they're thawed quite easily, and they bring a lot of flavour that way. So breaking everything down works quite well. The addition of pectic enzyme, which is added to this 900 grams of whole kumquats and squished just bring so much more out of it. And the use of that, I wish I'd done it earlier with my meads, but the pectin enzymes just do something different, even after the cell destruction through freezing. Combination of both is like carbonic maceration, which is really, really good. And once again, yes, the Voss flake yeast from Lallemand brings us this beer. So a very quick turnaround, a really nice looking beer for considering it's, most would say, green, very fresh in the keg. Just works so well. This recipe, from so far, this recipe has been really, really good. Really is a simple, basic recipe, and it's worked quite well. I'm not going to go into the chemicals and analysis of the water profiles and so forth, but if you're going to do a hazy IPA, hazy pale, whatever, yeah, the use of certain ingredients in additions bring a nice beer anyway, regardless. If you don't use them, if you do use them, exceptional beers. Oh man, on the nose, pith, citrus, orange. There is grapefruit there. There's all sorts of things going on. Citrus being the main one in this one. Looks good, smells good. Oh man, kumquats. If you haven't noticed, I'm a massive lover of kumquats, particularly in my brewing. Malt comes through really well. The citrus vibes, the piffiness. It's really hard to pick up any sort of bitterness, because what I'm getting in this beer is pith. Some people love it, some people hate it, but the pith certainly coats the palate, takes away from the bitterness. So what you perceive is, particularly for me, what I perceive is more to do with the kumquats and the descriptors of certain hops that have gone into it. It's zingy, slightly tangy. Just has this mouthfeel. I expected it to be quite a thin mouthfeel, lots of flavour, lots of aroma, but it's sort of watery in the sense of a mouthfeel. But this does different things. Kumquats really work well with balancing out sort of the alcohol flavours in beers. Balances out really well in meads too. So we've got a mead that's particularly really sort of fusel, real sort of prominent with the alcohol, and it's you just don't get that with the kumquat. The kumquats, it's just got this thing about it. It just takes a hold, and it sort of, it just encapsulates any sort of alcohol and makes things so much smoother. This does not taste like a 5.6, 5.7% beer. Sort of nudging at 6%. You can start getting up to 6% and beyond that. Start to notice a bit of alcohol flavour. Just don't pick it up. It's just not there. I think I've done really well with this one. Like I said, such a basic recipe makes things, so much nicer. Got a little bit of kumquat to go. Not a lot. There's enough there for maybe 2 more meads. Might be able to punch out enough to do this one again, but when we come back into the warmer seasons, I think this is going to be a really good beer. Spring, summer. Wish I'd come across it earlier. I probably would have done a double to triple batch, and maybe even cube it, had it ready to go. So that I had kegs filled throughout summer, spring and summer. But it's always next year. It's all written down, it's all documented. I'm not going to change anything with this recipe. I'm just so much, we'll say, very pleased with this recipe. There's nothing I want to change about it. I think I've just nailed it. SO4 was the yeast that was used in the original recipe through the American Homebrew Association website. Like I said, I wanted a quick turnaround. Humidity and the sort of, we're still experiencing that. I think this keg's probably going to see me out heading into winter before we start tapping into the beautiful stouts. That's the Kumquat IPA. Cheers.